A very warm welcome to my lesson for today, where we are going to be looking at
Sorry, sir.
mathematics.
You're not screen sharing.
My screen is not showing. I'm about to say it just now. Let me do that. So I wanted to make sure that the recording starts then only after I share the screen. I think the screen is now sharing. So let me do that. No, I don't think that one is what I wanted to do. Maybe let me open that one. Okay, guys, if you remember, I did request for you to send through some information regarding whatever that you could be struggling with. The content that we have received, it's not yet enough. Keep us busy for more than 2 lessons. What we have is just enough to be covered in one lesson, but otherwise it's fine. That will be coming on Thursday or this week by a quiz. So just make sure that after this lesson, honorable members, through whatever that you might be struggling with. But for today, without me having to refer to the textbook or our notes, let me check. Don't go with your mic unmuted. Let me do that. Maybe make the other honorable members the co-hosts. Yeah, sometimes it does happen that you join and you've got your mic unmuted and you need to manually mute it. So in case if you do not mute it on your side, that's when we get disturbed by the background noise. Okay, then it's fine. It's fine. Guys, as I've indicated, I wish to deliver this lesson without having to refer to a textbook or the notes. What I'm going to cover, it is something that all of you by now, you should be knowing. It is the starting point of a lot of things that you need to be aware of. This is trigonometry, honorable members, where you have a Cartesian plane and you need to place a right-angled triangle and answer the questions that will follow. I'll just keep it simple for now and say, let us say you've got, let me do that, and then choose a color there. So let us say you've got 2, maybe let's say cos of an angle, which is being equated to 1. And then they are saying where that angle, let's say it is the element of negative 180 degrees and zero. Yes. Or it could be 0 and 180 degrees. Actually, not a negative that. Let's say 0 degrees and 180 degrees. Yes. So I will just work out this one. And then from there, I will give you guys some questions to very quickly work them out. I just want to make sure that when we start with some more complicated problems, at least you've got a background and you still remember how to do these things. Remember, guys, some of you might be writing preparatory examinations very soon, which covers everything that you need to be prepared for the final examinations. So that means as a mathematician, honorable members, you must be ready at all the times. It shouldn't be that every time when something is being brought up, you firstly need to check through your notes, how to work it out and all of that. As soon as something is presented before you, you should be able to know exactly what is expected of you. So you will be given something similar to that, and then from there will be some questions, for example, where they say, maybe let's say this is number 1, find chord of an angle, and then number 2, let us say sec of an angle divided by 2. Then maybe number 3, we can say tan angle over chord of an angle. Maybe that we can give it 1 mark, maybe that one 2 marks, maybe that one 4 marks or 3 marks. So that means you are given that information of 2 cos whatever, and that angle being the element of that, and they want you to solve or answer those questions. Sometimes they can just say, simplify those 3 problems. So maybe let us say the first thing that you need to do
So we're unable to hear you. Sir, sir, I don't know if it's your connection, but we still can't hear you.
Let's see. Okay, guys, I did get many of your WhatsApp messages where you indicated that you are not able to hear anything that I was saying. Okay, let's see. Ask all to unmute. Are you able to hear me now, honorable members or members who are
Yes, sir.
honorable?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then it's fine. The next thing that I would like to establish is which part did you miss? I'm just not so sure of what happened, but I will try to find out. Let me now share my screen so that you guys are able to see what is happening there. Then you will let me know which part you have missed. My screen is sharing. Let me do this. Okay, guys, anyone who can remember which part did you guys miss? Or maybe let's say, up to which point were you able to hear all that I was saying?
Sir, you were busy explaining on drawing the triangle.
Drawing the triangle. Was it this part? No, not that one. Doubt is that one. Which one was it, Alice? Guys, which part did you miss so that I can re-explain? Ask all to unmute. Guys,
Please start from the top.
Describe which part?
It was as soon as you were explaining over there, sir, in that green box with the triangle. That's where your audio just disappeared.
When I started the green box, okay, then it's fine. I think I will have to then re-explain all of that. I think what I now need to do is just to mute all. I can maybe just say yes, and then I will leave it there. Let's see. Let me just make sure of something. Okay, then it's fine. So let's see. This is what I was saying, honorable members. I was saying with this type of questions, you generally follow 3 steps. And the first step that you generally do, it is to locate the quadrant. So that means we've got 4 quadrants: quadrant number 1, quadrant number 2, quadrant number 3, quadrant number 4. So you need to know whether your right angled triangle will fall in quadrant 1, 2, 3, or 4. And then the second step that you generally do, it is to complete a right angled triangle, which means you must know all the sides. You must know what that side is, what that side is, what that side is. That's how you complete your right angled triangle. And then the last step, it is to answer the questions. Which questions? Question number 1, 2, and 3. So now we need to start with step number 1, which is to locate the quadrant. How do we locate the quadrant? This is what helps us to locate the quadrant. First thing first, we already know that we are going to start from angle 0 and then we end on angle 190. So that means our right angled triangle will start from angle 0 and in angle 180. Obviously, we know that that one is 90 there in between. So that means our right angled triangle, it's either is going to be in that quadrant or that quadrant. So it's in most cases where you are given 2 quadrants to choose from. So that means if maybe that was the element of, let's say, 270 and 360 degrees, then you know you're going to start from, not that, but maybe 180. Yes, then you know you start from 180 going to 360. This is where the 180 is, and then going all the way to 360. So your right angle triangle, either it is there or it is there. Sometimes if it's between, let's say, the element of 90 degrees and 270 degrees, then you know that you've got your 90 degrees there, 270 degrees there. So your right angle triangle will either be in there or there. So this is what guides us in terms of in which 2 possible quadrants can we have our right angled triangle. So now, how are we going to know whether it is in the first quadrant or the second quadrant? It is this ratio. Remember, how did I get that ratio? You were originally given 2 cos of an angle, which was equals to 1. So you just want to have sine of an angle, tan of an angle, or cos of an angle. So that means everything attached to that, you need to remove it. How do you remove that? You divide both sides by 2 so that that cancels with that. So that means cos of an angle is equals to 1 over 2. Why did you have to do that? It's because you know that cos, it is x over r. You check your x, it's positive, your r, it will always be positive. So in which quadrant between these 2 quadrants is your x positive? Obviously, everything on this side is positive, on this side is negative. This side, it fails because we have a positive x value. So that means our x value is 1, our r is 2. What we need to now find out in order to complete our triangle is the y, which is where you use theorem of Pythagoras. Before I even go deeper, let me just check if we're still together up to this point. If not, make sure to let me know so that I can quickly re-explain. I'm hoping that I did not lose you along the way. So let's see, ask all to unmute. Guys, anyone who's got a question on that one?
No questions on my side, sir.
No questions, sir.
Question from Mendlo.
No questions on my side.
Let's see, the other on. Okay, looks like we are all okay. Okay, then I will continue. So now let's see, honorable members. We have the formula which says r squared equals to that and then that. So our r, we know it is 2, obviously squared there. Our x, we know it is 1. What we are looking for, it is that one. Obviously, that is 4. Obviously, that is 1 plus that. You take this one to the other side, it becomes 4 minus 1. Remember, that is that. So you end up having this being 3. So it's like, finally, if you want to remove that, you have square root of 3, which is equals to y. So that means your y, it is equals to square root of 3. Let me quickly update the mark allocations there. You'll find that this one is not allocated 1 mark, but it's 4. And part of its mark comes from you using that in order to complete that right-angled triangle. So can you guys see? We have located the quadrant in which we are going to be having our right-angled triangle. And we have just completed that right-angled triangle. Now what we need to do, it is to answer the questions, starting with the first question. Question number 1. Question number 1, we are having chord of an angle. Before you can do much, you just need to know what is the ratio for chord in terms of x, y, and r. That's all that you need to know, honorable members. It's like you need to rewrite these trigonometric ratios and their reciprocals in terms of x, y, and r. This is what you need to remember. Then you are done. You just need to remember this, honorable members. If you forgot, just take a screenshot. We have let us say sine, we have cos, we have tan. And what we know is that sine, it is what? Y over r. What about cos? It is x over r. What about tan? It is y over x. It doesn't change. What you need to remember is that the cousin of cos is not cos. Let's start with sine. It will be cosec. It will be cosec. And then for cos, it will be sec. Yes, and then for tan, easy, cot. Yes. You remember how we made it easy, Moses? We said letter number 3, it represents its cousin. Letter number 3, it represents its cousin. Letter number 3, it represents its cousin. Then, if you know, then it's easier to remember that, okay, if this one is that over that, you take that, you write it at the top, and then that one at the bottom. For this one, that at the top, and then that at the bottom. For this one, that at the top, and that at the bottom. That's all that you need to know. Just take a screenshot of that so that it is easier. For example, for your information, if you are given, let us say 1 over 3, and then we say chord of an angle, it's equals to negative, let's say 2. And then from there, they say that is the element of, let's say, whatever that you are being given there. Before you can worry about this, try to rewrite this thing as a ratio. So this is what I would do. Obviously, you can multiply, cross multiply by that 3, whichever way you work it out. For example, you will be having that one chord, even though it's not necessary to write chord 1 there. 3 times 2, it becomes negative 6. So what I'm saying is, you are therefore having chord of -6. Remember, I said you need to rewrite it as a fraction. So that means you have negative that over that. The question now is, what is the ratio for cot? What we know is that cot, it is actually x over y. So that means, honorable members, that it is 6 and then that it is that. Then, depending on what you are given there, you will know if this negative, it is for 6, or if that negative, it is for 1. How are you going to know? Obviously, after you've been given the range, let's say the range is like that. And obviously, if you realize your right-angled triangle is falling there, then that would mean x will have to be positive. So that means your 6 will have to be positive, and then the negative will have to go to 1 because it is on this side where the y values are negative. Then that means you have your -1 there. Something of this nature, then you use theorem of Pythagoras to get that. So can you guys see, it's not like it's always where they will give you as sine, as cos, or tan. Sometimes they can give you as cosec. The question is, do you know what is the ratio for cosec, sec, or cot? That's what makes this type of questions difficult, even though it's not difficult if you know what you now know. But if you did not know, then you were always going to think this is difficult. Okay, coming back to our question, then let's see. Maybe before I even go deeper, let me just check. You might find that there's someone who's got a question. There is a hand up. Okay, Nokubonga, I'm going to say ask to unmute. Nokubonga, do you have a question, honorable member?
I put my hand up a long time ago and I wanted to tell you that we couldn't hear.
Okay, then it's fine. I think try to lower it by clicking the same way you clicked to raise it. Yeah, that's how you lower the hand. Okay, so now let's see. Any questions up to this point, honorable members?
No questions from my side, sir.
No questions from my side.
No questions, sir.
Okay.
No questions, sir.
I'm going to work out this one and I will give you guys a problem to work out, and I will also work it out on my side. Then from there, you are going to submit, and I will then look into those. Okay. Let me see. Okay, this is where we are. So let's see. Okay, we said chord. What is the ratio for chord? The ratio for chord is x over y. Yes. So you just go to your table and copy the x value. What is the x value on our triangle? The x value, it is x. And then the y value, it is square root of 3. So that means we have 1 over square root of 3. Remember, by law, we don't want to have a square root at the bottom. So you need to remove it. This is where they test your mathematical knowledge. How do you remove it? You multiply that by 1. This type of 1. Someone might be wondering, why am I saying by 1 but I'm not writing 1? This divided by that is 1. But why did I have to divide by that? It's because this is what I'm trying to remove. So you divide by whatever the square root you are having. So if, for example, you have 1 over square root of 7. Then to remove it, you remove it by multiplying this thing by exactly that at the top and at the bottom. So that's how you remove that square root. So that means you end up having 3. And then that times that, you end up. If you punch on your calculator 1 over square root of 3, trust me, it will give you square root of 3 over 3. So you might find that your other mark comes from you writing it in that format. Maybe if you leave it as that, it is not simplified. It is not written in its simplest form. So that means if you have 2 over, let us say, square root of 5, this thing you must multiply it by square root of 5 over square root of 5. We say you multiply it by 1. Why 1? Because 1 doesn't change anything. So that means with you multiplying by that, you did not change anything. So that square root removes that 1. That means you remain with 5. And then that 1 multiplies with that. You end up having 2 square root of 5. Try different things. You can try, let's say 1 over square root of 2. Check what it is going to give. You might find that it gives you that. It could be 3 there. You'll find that 3 is there. Because that 1 which was there is there, even though it's not necessary to write it. Now let's move on to the next one. I will check if you guys are okay. So you see now, what are we having there? We have sec. What do we know about sec? You must just know that sec is r over x. Be smart enough to say that means divided by. So you can just write it as divided by 2 there. And then what is our r? We know it is 2. What is our x? We know it is 1. Obviously, when we have a division there, this is over 1 most. When we have a division there, you swap by taking 1 to the top and then that at the bottom. That cancels with that cancels with that. You end up having what? You end up having 1. That's if, yes, that is x, that is r, yes. So that means, honorable members, what you are actually being tested on is to check if you know how to simplify. Even though they just don't give you the grade 8 stuff, they give you in that format. You must know how to rearrange that and rewrite it in terms of x, y, and r. Then from there, from right angle to triangle, you need to substitute and then simplify. That's how you grow, honorable members. They no longer just give it to you in that format like they do in primary level and they say simplify. No, things, they are of a higher standard. So that's what you are being tested on. So if you've been playing in primary, grade 8 and 9 and so forth and so on and stuff like that, even if you are playing in crash, honorable members, because everything is connected. So the reason why you find someone saying maths is difficult, physics is difficult, and all of that, it's because they don't understand the connections of this thing. From where does this thing start? Everything starts from somewhere, honorable members. It's not like when you get to high school, everything that you learned from primary level, it's not connected to what you are going to be doing in high school. That is why it cannot be that you've never been to a primary, and now that you haven't been to primary, and let's say you are 18 years old, then because of your age, you start in grade 12. Are you going to see flames, Moss? You can't even write A. You don't even know what A is. All that you know is to eat. And there in school, we are not going there to eat, honorable members. There, we are going to release some ink on the paper. Very, very much important, honorable members, that you don't underestimate anything that you learn. So When you go to school, honorable members, you're not only going there to pass the tests and to answer questions. You are going there to learn, to understand what you are being taught. If it happens that a day go past and you do not know or understand what you were being taught, and you continue like that, or saying, I'm telling you, honorable members, we're still going to be together for the next 50 years. And I'll still be telling you the same things. So please, honorable members, let's take these things serious. Okay, so you see there, what is the ratio for tan? We know that the ratio for tan is y over x. Be clever enough to know that this thing is a divided by. Name, cot, what is the ratio for cot? We know that for cot it is x over y. Now you can substitute. What is our y? We know it is square root of 3. What is the x? It is that. Okay, we have divided by what is x? It is that. And then what is y? It is that. We know that when you have a division in between, it simply means you must swap and multiply. So that means you multiply, that goes to the top, and then that at the bottom. This is not something that we should be explaining. You must know these things from primary to say when you divide, they swap and all of that. So you see now, it's obviously that multiplying with that. Trust me, it is going to be that times that, which is 9, square root of 9, it is 3, over that multiplying with that, it is 1. So that means 3 divided by 1, it is 3. We can't teach you that 3 divided by 1, it is 3, honorable members. But what we can definitely teach you, it is this part to remind you that turn over that as a ratio, it is that and that. But going down, you should be able to work it out, honorable members. So that's how they teach at tertiary level. They don't do all of this thing for you. You go and do it yourself. All that they do is to remind you that this over that is what. That's why it's easy to get distinctions at varsity, honorable members. Trust me, as much as it is easy to get distinctions, it is very much easy to get 0. Because one mistake, you might find that there's a question which is 70 marks, not necessarily 70 marks, but 70%. And on that question, if you miss one step, especially at the top, it affects everything. It affects everything, honorable members. So there they are training you to be realistic and to pay full attention so that when you get to the workplace, you know the importance of 0. Imagine you now having to do a business proposal and you want to request for some funding. You want to build what is it that you guys, let's say you want to release an album, on Rebel members, and you need some money so that you can use to promote your album. And you want, let's say 1 million. Yes, you want 1 million. You write your nice proposal, everything is perfect, and then it comes to the amount, and then you say, okay, I want 1 million, and you leave it there. I'm telling you, honorable members, I'm telling you, because of that 1 0 that you missed, 0 being nothing, because of that 0 that you missed, it means you're going to get 100,000. Which is not what you need. What you actually need is 1 million. So that means all the 900,000 gone. All the 900 gone. 90% of what you need gone. You only get 1%. What are you going to do with 100,000 honorable members, whereas you needed 1 million? Some of the other honorable members couldn't make it to tertiary because they were lazy to write a comma. Find that an answer, it is 2 comma 4, let's say 5 ohms. And because of not writing that comma, they maybe just said 245 or leave it like that. So that this comma changes everything, honorable members. This thing is a game changer. It's no longer 2 comma that, but it is 245 ohms. I pick a load shedding volume. One mistake or saying kingi. Let me just check. I hope everything was clear up to this point. You were able to collect everything that I said. Let's see.
Yes, sir.
Guys, any questions?
Yes, sir.
Up to this point?
No questions, sir.
No,
No
no
questions,
questions,
sir.
sir.
So are you
No
ready
questions,
for
sir.
a quick exercise?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just as I'll have to think deep on this one. I'll have to think deep. I think I have to switch off my screen. Otherwise, some of you guys, I know you. I'm going to switch off my mic. No, not the mic, but the screen sharing. I want to set this one. Okay, let's say you have that over that, and then let's say that of that, it is equals to that. No, let me make it. Yeah, no, it's fine. I'll make it that. So that by that, it is supposed to be that, and then by that. Okay, no, I will change this one. I will put it on this side, and then I will say that. Okay, so it ends up being that one to the other side, that by that, and then you do by that, and then it ends up that being that by that, and then that. Okay, and then this thing, it is for that, and then it is that over that. Guys, remain muted. Remain muted. And then I'm going to say this thing. Maybe let me do it like that and say that is the element of. So let's see, we have that. Maybe let me make it a that. Yes. Okay, it's going to be this. So that means that one, it goes to there. That side, and then that one there. But yo. Okay, maybe I'll do it this way, say that, and then that. Okay, that one is fine. Okay, guys, I'm still cooking. I think I am now done with the cooking. I'm going to share my screen very soon. Yes. And then when it's like that, you will therefore know that, okay, this is where I'm going to have it. Okay, then it's fine. Let me remove this, then I'll share my screen, and then you guys can start working. So that I'll also work it out on my side, create the memo, so that when you submit, then we'll compare. Okay, now I'm going to share my screen. Let's see. Share screen, start broadcast. Screen is now sharing. Okay, nazo inkinga. So you can start, honorable members, if you are in a good position to. What I want to do now, is to say, simplify the following. Let's say number one, I'll just make it 3 questions. 1 over sec of an angle, 1 over 2 minus tan of that. Number 3, negative 2 over cot of an angle. Yes, this is what you guys are supposed to do. Can someone very quickly take a screenshot, just so that you know you've got this on record? Yeah, just take a screenshot for yourself, and then I'll label that as the class, not the class werk. The class werk. Let me not indicate the marks. Okay, let me check, guys. Can you all see your class werk?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then it is fine. It is fine. I want to also start on my side so that I know I've got the name. I want to make sure that whatever that I give you, it is doable. So let's see. Now I'm wondering how long we're going to need for. Okay, we give ourselves 10 minutes on this one. Now let's make it 15 minutes. So when I say 15 minutes, it means at 20:05. Exactly at 20:05. I'm therefore going to end this, and then at 20:10, everyone must be done with submissions. So that means you'll have 5 minutes to make sure that you submit. To submit, obviously, you send me an inbox with a photo. Yes, the photos. And then what you must do, after you take a photo, when you send to me, just like when you update your WhatsApp status, you click there on the text, then you type your name, so that as you submit, I know whose script is which. Just in case if it happens that I won't be the one doing the corrections, whoever who does the corrections, they know who did it, which way, and then we will therefore be able to know what you are struggling with. So in case, for example, by now we know each other. We know there's an honorable member called Mendlonge. There's an honorable member called Mapulale Tsoalo. In case if you don't want to use your actual name, that means what you must use is your parents' name. That is not known by anyone. In that case, if your parents wants to know if you have done the class werk, they will check, because your scripts will be posted in our channel. So that means they will just check in the channel and they will see their name and they will know it is their honorable member who represented them. So if you don't submit, it means your script won't be posted in the channel, and that's how your parents will know that you are playing. So just make sure, honorable members. But if you are confident with your answers and you don't care that much if everyone knows you, just write your name, honorable member. That's what I'm encouraging you to do, because when you fail, it's your failure, honorable member. You need to be proud of your fail, so that even when you get assisted, you will have that confidence to say, I'm the one who's struggling, and this is what I'm struggling with, and I would like to get assistance. It helps in instances where I'm trying to explain something and I'm explaining it in a more complicated way, and the other honorable member will then dive in and explain it in the simplest way, especially if they know that what you're struggling with is what they struggled with. So just make sure to be confident enough. Okay, guys, did you hear all those instructions? When you submit, you type your name and all of that. Did you hear that, honorable
sir.
member?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Good. And let me see. No, just so that there's control. Only the co-hosts are able to speak. So take a screenshot of this at 1920. At 1920, I'm going to end this, and then I think I'll also continue to work it out. And then at 2010, everyone must be done with submissions. So what I'm going to do now, it is to mute myself, and then I want to also start working it out, and then I will end. Okay, that's my screenshot. Okay. Let me mute myself.